So what I'm talking about this morning is a conversation I had with a client yesterday in regards to her breakfast. So a gorgeous, about mid-60s lady who has finally made the decision to spend a little bit of money on herself. Her kids are going to be completely fine when she's no longer with us, and so she's finally decided to spend some money on herself, which is actually something that I had to make a really conscious decision of spending money when I got my treatment done, so my fat freezing on my belly about 12 years ago. I was nervous about spending $5,000 on myself, yet I was comfortable spending $1,000. It wasn't comfortable, but had to spend $1,000 every year on soccer boots for my two kids every season because their feet grew too quickly. So I was happy to spend the money on my kids, but not on myself. And I actually thought, this tummy is pissing me off, and it's going to continue to do that for the next 40 years. Why am I not spending the money on myself? So anyway, this lady has decided to now spend the money on herself. However, when we were having a chat yesterday about the food that she was consuming, because we do talk about diet and we talk about exercise in the clinic for our clients, try and give you a little bit of understanding. She was expressing how she was pleased with herself because she'd had cornflakes for breakfast. So she didn't understand that cornflakes actually aren't a healthy breakfast. Cornflakes have a really high GI index, so glycemic index, so GI index, glycemic index. It's ultra processed, so it's as good as having potato chips for breakfast. And none of us, I think we would all know that having potato chips for breakfast is not a good thing. So she was under the belief that having a bowl of cornflakes was a healthy breakfast. Now, I talk about all of this sort of really simple stuff in my book. I talk about the glycemic index of food. I talk about how that food is processed in your body and why it converts really quickly into sugar, and then it gives you a blood sugar spike, and then you need to create more insulin, and over time our bodies get insulin resistant. So this lady was under the assumption that something so simple like her breakfast was healthy, and it totally wasn't. So I talk about all of this in my book, Why Can't I Lose Weight? The simple science and truth of weight loss, and why it's not your fault. And it's not your fault because we've been told by the Agriculture Society, by the governments, that we should eat more. If you think back to the food pyramids of the 1980s, eat more grains, eat more of these processed foods. That was the bottom part and the structure of diet. So it's no wonder that we are eating and doing the wrong thing, because we've been tricked by the government and by the so-called experts back then into thinking that cornflakes, and our supermarkets and advertising that cornflakes are healthy, just as an example. So, can't go down that street, it's too noisy. So, that was just this lady that was believing that a bowl of cornflakes was healthy for her breakfast. Like I said, this I talk about glycemic index, the glycemic index of food, in my book. In my book. I break it down to really simple, understandable language and concepts, so that if you, or as you go along and you consider your body as your temple, my body is my temple, you actually understand the right things to put into your body. It's closest to nature as possible. If it comes in a package, don't eat it. Try and eat things that have just come out of the ground or off a tree or out of the slaughterhouse. That's not a very nice way to say it. But trying to eat food as close to nature as possible. Now, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a... Gosh, what did I have for dinner last night? Anyway, I'm certainly not one of those people, but I have a really good understanding of what food is good for me. And so with this lady who ate cornflakes, I suggested that perhaps she should be having an egg She should be having some avocado or some yogurt and berries, or if she was going to have cereal, perhaps at least just having oats rather than having ultra processed cornflakes. And when I say that cornflakes are like potato chips when they go into your body, if you think about them, a potato chip is so broken down and reconstituted into like this sort of mush back into a chip that you then put into your body. 3 bites it's broken down and then it goes into your stomach. Compared to, okay, think of a roast potato. You cut it, you pop it into your mouth and you chew it, but it goes down through your esophagus into your stomach in a big lump. So then your body is going to take a lot longer and a lot more energy for all of the digestive enzymes to get into that product, to break it down further so that then it can start moving through your digestive tract. So something just like a potato chip that's like super thin and little and almost mush by the time you've taken 2 bites and it's down your esophagus, that's going to give you a rapid increase in your blood sugar level because it's almost like drinking it compared to eating a roast potato. Now, potatoes do get a bit of a bad rap, but even just that is a simple example, because the potato chip has been processed so much more than a normal potato, than the roast potato, it's going to have a higher glycemic index than having the roast potato. And that is because the roast potato goes into your stomach in a different form. It's like a bit more of a lump. It takes longer for your body to break it down. So when we're talking about cornflakes, they are ultra processed and are going to give you that massive glycemic index spike, so increase in your blood sugar level. It's going to increase your hunger. It's going to have a really low satiety effect, so you're going to be hungry very soon after. And so this information I do talk about in my book. The book is only $19.95 for Australia. Sorry, the book is only $19.95 with free postage in Australia, or you can get it on Amazon for $8.95, I think, and that's the ebook. You can also purchase it on Amazon. It's a little bit more expensive, and I don't think apparently the quality is not as good. So that's just some of the info that I talk about in my book, but also the information that we talk about with our clients, because fat freezing is fantastic. It gets rid of your fat cells, permanently shaping your body, but there's a certain element of assisting our clients with making long-term permanent change after their treatment. So I hope that's been helpful. Have a great day.